Forgiveness is the biggest donation you can give to anybody. Forgiveness is the best gift you can give to someone. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Unique Elijah Opiwane back on your screen. And welcome to this episode of True Talk with Unique. Okay, so before we start, I just want to make out this time to appreciate all of you for your support. To my subscribers, thank you very much. My returning subscribers, thank you for always coming back. And if this is your first time of stopping by, you are highly welcome. And please do me a favor to click on the subscribe button to join this wonderful family. And after doing that, please turn on your notification bell so you get notified each time I post new videos. Thank you guys very much. So on today's episode of True Talk with Unique, we'll be handling a topic titled forgiveness. This topic is it's a rampant but difficult topic. Like, it's a very sensitive topic. And please, if this is what you want to watch, if this is what you want to listen to, keep watching guys. Stay tuned and don't go nowhere. We'll be back shortly. Welcome back guys. Welcome back. So without further delay, let's dive right into today's topic, which is forgiveness. Forgiveness. What is forgiveness? Forgiveness can be defined as a conscious, deliberate decision to release the feelings of resentment and vengeance towards a person or group of people who harmed you. Now, regardless of whether they deserve your forgiveness or not. Underline that, regardless of whether they deserve your forgiveness or not. So what this implies is that people don't need to deserve it. You don't need to wait for people to apologize, or you don't need to wait to feel that people are deserving of your forgiveness before you give it. That is why I said at the beginning of this video that forgiveness is the highest donation you can give to anybody. It's a gift. Now, forgiveness does not mean forgetting or condoning or excusing offenses. That's not what forgiveness is. That you forgive does not mean you should forget. Forgiveness does not mean making excuses for people. It simply means deciding to forgive them, deciding to let it go. Yes, what they did was wrong. Did they hurt you? Yes. Did they harm you? Yes. Did they do wrongs to you? Yes. But forgiveness is given, is not earned. You decide to forgive. You don't need to wait, like I said earlier, you don't need to wait for them to come and apologize. There are some unrepentant offenders. There's some people that will offend you and they stand by it and they pride in it. But what you do, you forgive. Now that you forgave them does not mean it didn't happen. Forgiveness is not overlooking. Forgiveness is not pretending that it did not happen. It's just deciding to let it go for your own good. So today's topic, we're going to be looking at it from two different perspectives, from the perspective of God and the perspective of our human day-to-day activities or our human relationship with each other. Sometimes we carry years and years of pain, trauma, hurt caused by people. We carry it, our hearts are so heavy. Our hearts are so heavy. We find it difficult to let it go. We are holding on to it like it's a treasure. But the question is that what we really deserve? Is that good for us? Is that good for our mental health? Forgiveness is not something you do for the offender. It's something you do for yourself. When you forgive someone of the pain they hurt you, they cost you rather, you're releasing yourself of that grudge. When you hold on to unforgiveness, you're keeping yourself stagnant. You're letting yourself be in that place where the offender wants you to be. Some people offend you intentionally. Some people hurt you intentionally to put you in a box. So forgiving them does not mean you're doing them a favor. You're doing yourself a favor. You're protecting your mental health. You're protecting yourself. Forgiveness does not come easy. It does not come easy at all. Being hurt by someone, especially someone you love and trust, can cause sadness, pain, hurt, bitterness, confusion. If you dwell on that hurtful events or situations, grudges filled with resentment and hostility can take over you. And that is not what you want for yourself. If you allow negative vibes, if you allow negative feelings to crowd out positive feelings, you might end up, or you find yourself being swallowed up by your own self-bitterness or sense of injustice. If you allow negative vibes, if you allow negative energy to crowd out positive energy or positive feeling, you will find yourself being swallowed up in your own self-bitterness. So what unforgiveness does to you, it makes you bitter. It makes you bitter. The earlier you realize that forgiveness is for your own self, the easier it becomes for you to forgive. I'm not saying it's easy to forgive. It is not easy to forgive. Now, note this. Forgiving does not mean overlooking. Forgiving someone does not mean pretending that it didn't happen. Actually, pretending that something that happened did not happen is foolishness. It's not forgiveness. You don't have to pretend that it didn't happen. We know it happened. You've been hurt. But forgiveness is a decision. It's a gift. Now, you don't give this person because they asked for it. You don't give this because they deserve it. You give it because you decided to give. Now, in a relationship, whether marital relationship, love relationship, business relationship, friendship, forgiveness is paramount. Forgiveness is key. Now, there are stages to this forgiveness. There are stages to what people can do to you. There are levels to hurt. You understand? I'm not talking about someone that's just called you you're stupid. No. There's some hurt. There's some pain. There's some things that are so difficult for you to let go. Okay? Now, in a relationship, in a friendship relationship, if you're being betrayed by someone you trust, by someone you love, it hurts. Now, you just have to forgive. But forgiving does not mean you should forget that it happened. Forgiving them does not mean you should bring them back into your life. For example, a friend that tried to snatch your husband, a friend that plotted evil against you, that tried to hurt you, that tried to take what belongs to you. Forgiving them does not mean you should bring them back into your life. Forgiving them does not mean you should trust them. Betrayal of trust is difficult to rebuild. When trust is being betrayed, it cannot be rebuilt overnight. It takes a lot to rebuild the trust being broken. If your friend betrays your trust, you can forgive them. You can decide to forgive them, but you cannot decide to trust them. Trust entails a lot of consistency. Trust has a lot to do with the person that offended you now. Now remember, forgiveness has nothing to do with them. They don't have to do anything for you to forgive them. You don't have to wait for them to apologize before you forgive. You need to forgive and move on. But when it comes to trust is earned, is not given, is not a gift. You cannot decide to trust someone. You cannot say yes because you forgave, then you forget that it happened, then you bring them back into your life, you trust them again. Oh, no. That is not forgiveness. A partner that cheated on you, a partner that abuses you or does something so hurtful to you, you can forgive them. but it does not mean you should bring them back into your life without any changes. Now, for a relationship to be restored, it requires the offender to do 3 things. For a relationship to be restored, yes, forgiveness has happened. Now, restoring or resuming the relationship is another level, is another stage altogether. Forgiveness is not reunion. No. Don't feel because you forgive the person, everything comes back to normal. If you're in a relationship with somebody and the person hurt you, the person cheated or did something, then you forgive and you forget that it happened and you come back to normal. No. Forgiveness is not reunion. Forgiveness does not mean resuming the relationship. No. For the relationship to be restored, it requires the partner or the offender to do 3 things. Number 1, repent. Number 2, make it right. Number 3, rebuild trust. So don't mix it up. Don't mix it up. Forgiveness is very, very important, especially in a relationship. Relationship can be successful if you have 2 forgiving partners. If you're someone that holds on to grudge, your husband maybe says something to you or does something and you're holding it, or even someone you're in a relationship with, not your husband yet, it's not going to work. You need to be prepared ahead of time. Have enough forgiveness in your heart before you go into a relationship, because the partner must wrong you. That is inevitable. It's a no-brainer. They are going to hurt you. They are going to offend you. It takes a forgiving heart to just let some things, you just let it go and move on. If 2 partners decide to hold on to each other's wrongs and mistakes, it's not going to work. Forgiveness is something you do for yourself. Forgiveness is not something you do for your partner. You're doing it for your own sanity. You are doing it for your own sanity. You need to release. Unforgiveness can make you unproductive. You will not be efficient in every aspect of your life if you carry along with you so much grudge. You need to protect your sanity. You need to protect your mind. You need to guide your heart jealously. Guide it diligently. Don't let unnecessary things clog up your heart. Don't let unnecessary things clog up your mind. Don't allow people to live rent-free in your head. Don't let them control your mind. Don't let them control you. Because when you're carrying on to someone's hurt, you just carry it to your office, you carry it to your relationship, you carry it to everything you do, you're going to end up making a lot of mistakes. Let it go. It's painful. Forgive them for your own sake. Forgive for your own sake. Trust is established by character and consistency. You don't trust people because you've forgiven them, but you need to forgive. There are a bunch of advantages of forgiveness that you don't even know. If you understand what forgiveness is and you understand the advantage, the benefits of forgiveness, you will know that you just need to forgive for your own sake, not for anybody. For your own sake. Now I highlighted some advantages of forgiveness I'm going to be reading out for you. One advantage of forgiveness is healthier relationship. If you're a forgiving person, if you're a forgiving soul, you will be able to create or have or build healthier relationships. If you're someone that picks on every little thing and you carry it, there's some people that are good at magnifying wrongs. Someone might do something that is so tiny to you. You start reading 1 million reasons or analyzing it from different angles and dimensions, making it look so big, holding on to it and letting bitterness overcloud you. You're not going to have a successful relationship if you're not forgiving. So for a healthy relationship, forgiveness is very important. Number 2 is improved mental health. If you forgiveness protects your mental health. Forgiveness protect your mental health. You don't let people cloud your head. You don't let people affect your decisions. If you're carrying unforgiveness can affect your decision. Unforgiveness can affect your interpretation of people. Unforgiveness will affect your productivity level. Unforgiveness will affect your love life. It's going to affect everything. It's going to mess up with your head. Don't let people live rent-free in your head. Don't let people occupy duplexes in your head for no just cause. Forgive and let go. Number 3, less anxiety, stress, and hostility. Forgiveness makes you a more lovable person. Forgiveness reduces stress. If you're a forgiving person, you cannot be carrying about so much stress. See, life alone is so stressful. It's stressful enough. So you cannot carry unforgiveness around. It lessens the stress. It lessens your anxiety. It makes you more lovable. It makes you more welcoming. It reduces hostility. Now, another thing is lower blood pressure. Unforgiveness can give you high blood pressure. Now, that person will hurt you, and it could be someone that is close to you that will be in your face at every time. It could be someone in your office that you go to work every day and you see them, and you find that when you see that person that offended you, your mind will flip. You will be so angry. You're carrying grudge. You're bearing grudges. You're carrying, malice and all of that. It will affect you. It will give you high blood pressure when you see the person, and now the person offended you, and you also let the person mess your whole day up. You go to the office, or it's your partner, you wake up to see the person all the time, and you're killing yourself. Your blood pressure will rise. Lower blood pressure. Forgiveness will normalize your blood pressure. Forgiveness will normalize your blood pressure. Improved heart health. When you forgive, you have a more healthier heart. Because the more you carry it in your heart, you're stressing this heart. It beats all the time, all day long. Just that beating, that constant beating and all of that, that constant blood that is pumping in the heart all the time is enough stress. If you now carry more pressure to this heart, it's going to give you see people that have heart failures. A lot of things that contribute to heart failures or heart diseases. Unforgiveness is one of them. So for an improved and a healthy heart, please forgive. Improved self-esteem. You find that when you forgive someone, when you let go of someone's pain, when you let go of the wrong, or the hurt or the pain that someone caused you, you're proud of yourself. You're happy with yourself. It improves your self-esteem. Forgiveness. Don't say, this is too much, I can't forgive this, I can't let it. You find people saying, I just can't forgive you. You can, actually, but you don't want to. It's not a matter of whether you can or you cannot. You actually can, but you don't want to forgive. You decide to hold. Why would someone want to hold yourself down? Forgive and let it go. Learn the lessons from it. Don't forget that it happened. Don't pretend that it happened, but just forgive for your own sake. Just forgive. Now, looking at it from God's perspective, looking at it from a Christ-like perspective, is there any amount of pain or is there any wrong that is unforgivable? Is there a word as unforgivable? The answer is no. There's no amount of wrong that someone is going to cause you that is unforgivable. No. What did the Bible say about forgiveness? Jesus told his disciples that you have to forgive someone 70 times 7 in a day. When they ask, how many times can someone hurt you and you forgive? That means God what the Bible is telling us, there is no limit to forgiveness. Someone cannot offend you 70 times 7 in a day. So remember that 70 times 7 in a day, when the day breaks and another day starts, the one you've counted is already null and void. You have to start counting again. So there's no way one person is going to offend you 70 times 7 in a day. So what is Christ trying to tell us? That there is no limit to forgiveness. We all say our Lord's Prayer, right? And there's this particular phrase of the Lord's Prayer that really got to me. He said, forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. So it means that you need to forgive people that hurt you if you want Christ to forgive you. Just as Christ forgave us, you need to forgive. Forgiveness is simply being strong enough. Being strong enough to be Christ-like. Christ is forgiveness. Christ is about, even when Christ was being crucified on the cross, he said, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. People that are hurting you, people that were still in the act, he was still praying for forgiveness. He was still pleading. He forgave them ahead of time. You cannot claim to be a Christian when you are unforgiving. You cannot claim to be a Christian when you cannot forgive the wrong someone did to you. When you cannot let it go, you cannot claim to be a Christian. Now, in Colossians chapter 3, verse 13, the Bible says, I'm going to read it out from here. He says, bear with each other and forgive whatever grievances you may have against one another. Forgive as the Lord forgave you. So it's in the Bible. You forgive as Lord forgave you. Even in Romans chapter 12 from verse 17 to 19, you find out that Peter says, do not repay evil for evil. In Romans chapter 12 from verse 17 to 8, from 17 to 19, you find it said, don't revenge. Vengeance is the Lord. Do not revenge evil for evil. Don't repay evil for evil. Forgive. That someone did something bad to you doesn't mean you should repay. Avoid the feeling of vengeance. Avoid the feeling of I want to do back. Forgive. Let it go. Will people hurt you? Definitely. Will people offend you? Definitely. Will friends betray you? Definitely. Definitely. People will offend you. People will hurt you. People will betray you. But the only thing you owe them is forgiveness. From your heart. Don't just say, I forgive you. Mean it. Forgiveness is not what to say, I forgive. No. Forgiveness is what you do from your heart. You decide to let it go. They hurt you. They wrong you. They keep doing it. Some people are intentional offenders. They keep offending you intentionally. So in that situation, what should you do? Should you say, the word forgiveness, sometimes when I used to struggle with unforgiveness. I used to struggle with it because it was so difficult for me to forgive. I could bear malice. I could bear grudges. I had to pray. You have to ask God for the grace to forgive. It's not easy. Forgiveness is not an easy thing to do. Trust me. It's not easy. It's easier said than done. It's very difficult. You need to pray for God to give you the grace to be able to forgive. I used to have that problem of unforgiveness. I intentionally prayed. I said, God, create in me a new heart, a clean heart, and renew a right spirit within me so I can be able to forgive. It was so difficult. If you hurt me, I hold on to it a lot, but I had to consciously work on myself. I had to consciously decide to forgive someone. If I'm meeting you today, I'm already telling myself in my head that this person can hurt you, this person can betray you, this person can do it. So I already made up my mind. I already do not expect so much from you, because it's a lot easier to forgive someone that you see this person as a potential offender. So forgive ahead of time. So you already make up your mind to forgive the person before the offense happens. It's a lot easier for you to do that. Pray for the grace to be forgiving. Ask God for the grace. It's not easy. It's not something you can do on your own. Ask God for the grace to forgive. If you're a Christian, then you should be able to forgive. It's going to help you in your relationship with your partner. It's going to help you in your relationship with God. It's going to help you in your business relationships with people. It's going to help you in your relationship with your friends. It's going to affect all round. Like, it's going to affect you in all ramification of life. Forgiveness. Don't hold on to pain. Don't carry it around. Don't stress your heart. Don't stress your mental state. Don't stress your mind over nothing. Don't let people control what you do because they hurt you. It's not easy. It's not easy to forgive. I used to feel forgiveness is not fair. I used to feel this, why would I forgive this person that has not even acknowledged the fact that he or she hurt me? How am I supposed to forgive this person that intentionally hurts me over and over again? Why should I forgive this person? If you start asking those questions, it will not make sense to you. But you just have to. Forgiveness is not fair. You can say it. I used to feel forgiveness. It's not fair. Why should I forgive this person? Shouldn't I wait for the person to acknowledge that he did wrong? Shouldn't I wait for this person to come and apologize for me to have a reason to forgive? You don't need a reason to forgive. You don't need to feel like forgiving. If you want to wait till you feel like forgiving, then you will never ever forgive. Because forgiveness is not a feeling, it's a decision, it's a choice, a hard choice actually. Don't want it to make sense. Don't want to make sense out of forgiveness. No, because it doesn't make sense. Because actually, in a right sense, you can say forgiveness. Well, you can say it's foolish to forgive, because how will you tell me to forgive someone that offends me intentionally and did not apologize? On what basis should I forgive this person? Why should I even let it go when this person is still hurting me? Why shouldn't you let it go? Now ask yourself one question: what do you have to lose if you forgive? What does it take from you to forgive? You find when you ask yourself such questions, it helps you to understand the importance of forgiveness for your own good. What do you have to lose if you forgive? Nothing. But what do you have to lose if you don't forgive? A lot. So with that, I think that should even help you to have a forgiving heart, to let it go. Let it go. Forgive. It's hard. It's difficult. There's some things that are unforgivable from your own definition. There's some things that are too much for you to handle. There's some things you feel, how can I forgive this? But please forgive for your own sake. Forgive someone today. Pick up your phone. Call that person that offended you. Tell the person, I forgive you. Sometimes even if you don't want to call the person, close your eyes, visualize the person before you and tell the person, I forgive you. Yes, you hurt me. You did this wrong to me, but I forgive you. I let it go. You're releasing yourself and the person. May God help us to forgive whoever that has hurt us. May God help us to cultivate the habit of forgiveness. Yes, this is where we'll be ending this video for today. If you like this video, don't forget to give us a thumbs up. And if you've not subscribed to this channel, please do so. I'm going to see you in our next video. Till then, forgive someone today. Let it go. I love you guys very much. See you in our next video and stay safe. I love you. Bye.